My handsome and outstanding college roommate always outshines me. So, I decided to pretend to be a girl and have an online romance with him, trying to play a prank on him. One day, I deliberately sent a cloying message. "Husband, I want to cuddle." But before I could even start to snicker, the bed curtain was suddenly pulled open. The handsome roommate looked at me with a half-smile. "How do you want to cuddle?" When I saw that the scholarship for this semester went to Andrew again, I pinched the orange in my hand with a straight face. The roommate, Roman, beside me carefully leaned over to comfort me. "Matthew, well, it's just a small thing. I won't meet my online dating girlfriend for a date this noon. I'll specially invite you to have barbecue to calm your nerves. It's just 10,000 yuan. You're not short of money." I'm not short of money. But the feeling of being outshone by Andrew again is really unpleasant. I closed my eyes, tried hard to suppress the annoying feeling in my heart, and then gave a faint smile to Roman. "I'm not angry." "Roman, I'm not hungry today. Go and have your meal quickly. Don't keep others waiting." Seeing this, Roman had no choice but to comfort me a few words and then left in a hurry. After sighing, I got into the bed curtain. Just as I was mentally beating up Andrew, I heard the dormitory door being opened. Someone deliberately walked in with light steps. I lifted the bed curtain and saw Andrew standing with his back to me beside his own bed. He probably just came back from playing basketball and was still steaming all over. Suddenly he looked back at me and then casually turned his head away. I immediately felt the sense of provocation. Just as I was about to flare up and have a showdown with Andrew, he casually took off his sweaty T-shirt, revealing his back with smooth muscle lines. He's extremely good looking. I instantly chickened out. Puckering my lips, I looked down at my skinny arms with no muscles at all. I retreated back into the bed curtain dejectedly, complaining to myself. Andrew has higher professional grades than me, is more handsome than me, taller than me, and his figure crushes mine. Although he has a cold and aloof personality, the people who pursue him can line up from the downstairs of the male dormitory to outside the university town. Among them, there are even several gays. Why on earth is such a person my roommate? I listened to the sound of Andrew taking a shower and angrily turned over. No, I have to think of a way to teach him a lesson to vent my anger. Just as I was thinking about how to teach him a lesson to vent my anger, Roman ran back to the dormitory crying. It really shocked me when this 1.8-meter tall hunk suddenly became so delicate. I got out of bed in a daze without even having time to put on my pants. "Roman, what's wrong? Didn't you go to meet your online dating girlfriend?" Roman cried even more bitterly. "What online dating girlfriend? When I went there and saw, he was a man, although he was quite good-looking. He said he didn't mind being the submissive partner. What the hell? I'm a straight man. Per me. I even spent thousands of dollars on gifts and it all went down the drain." Listening to his complaint, I really didn't know what to say. This is really an eye-opener. Suddenly, the bathroom door opened, and Andrew walked out with a calm face. Roman's wailing suddenly stopped, and he looked extremely timid. "What's the matter?" Andrew casually ruffled his slightly damp hair and glanced over with his inky eyes. Roman was extremely flattered by his sudden concern. "It's okay, Andrew. I'm already fine." "Yes." Seeing that Roman didn't say much more, Andrew didn't continue to press for details. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him glance at my bare legs and then seemed to pause for a moment. After that, he went to his own bed. I was busy comforting the still, sad Roman gently, so I didn't really care about his strange look. But as I was comforting him, I suddenly had a very wicked idea. Since a tough guy like Roman can be made to cry by his online dating girlfriend, won't Andrew, this unattainable flower on the high mountain, cry even more miserably then? This wicked idea kept swirling in my mind that day, itching to be put into action. I know the whole process of Roman's online romance, and the ending was that he spent money and lost his heart. I guess he'll be in low spirits for the next month. If this explosive effect were to happen to Andrew, it would definitely make me laugh out loud in my dreams. No sooner said than done. I immediately found an unused Line account and changed the profile picture and background to selfies of a voluptuous beauty. Then I posted a few pictures of the scenery of the neighboring university on the Moments. A Line account of a beautiful female college student of the same age was thus created. Even I was a bit tempted when I saw it. I don't believe I can't win over this guy Andrew with this. Everything is ready. All that's left is to add Andrew online. I immediately added him online actively. The first time, he didn't accept the request even after a day. I sent the friend request a second time and he still didn't accept it. While I was getting extremely impatient, I noticed that Andrew seemed to be avoiding me these 2 days and his eyes were hard to read. This made me give him a cold look whenever I saw him. But secretly, I was reflecting on it. Right, that scoundrel Andrew must have been flooded with friend requests online from girls. I have to do something different to stand out. So, my third verification message was, "Big brother, do you want to see my legs?" This time, Andrew approved the request quickly. I was startled and then sneered inwardly. "Good boy, so you have such a special preference." "Hello, brother." "Yes. He is quite cold." "Then I'll take the initiative." I hugged my phone and happily lay on the pillow trying to flirt with him. "Brother, if I show you my legs, can you have an online relationship with me?" It was quiet on the other end for a long time. It was so long that I wanted to lift the bed curtain to see if this guy Andrew had kicked the bucket. Then he replied, "Let me see first." Well, he wasn't willing to suffer even the slightest loss. I immediately started looking for online pictures, but every picture was so overly retouched that even one's mother wouldn't recognize them. Andrew sent another question mark, which was a clear sign of urging. There wasn't enough time to find a suitable one. I just grabbed my phone and rushed out of bed into the bathroom. Standing in front of the white wall in the toilet, I took a picture of my legs. Thanks to the fact that I'm a skinny guy, my legs have been teased by quite a few female classmates, saying that they're even better looking than girls' legs. So, even on the hottest days, I rarely wear shorts outside. Now that I've taken this picture, a stinky straight guy like Andrew definitely won't be able to tell. I immediately happily sent it to him. But the next second, I heard a harsh sound of a chair suddenly scraping across the floor in the dormitory. Meanwhile, accompanied by Roman's surprised inquiry. "Andrew, what's the matter?" Andrew seemed to say it was okay and then walked towards the bathroom. His footsteps were a bit hasty. In order not to have a conflict with him face to face, I quickly walked out of the bathroom. As soon as I opened the door, I almost bumped into Andrew. "Andrew, what are you doing blocking the door?" Andrew didn't say a word. Instead, he looked at me with a strange expression and frowned slightly. His gaze scanned me from top to bottom as if he was thinking about something. Finally, it stopped on my legs in shorts. "What the hell kind of look is that?" Just as I was about to glare at him and question him, he slowly opened his mouth, his voice slightly hoarse. "Has anyone ever said that your legs are very nice, Matthew?" Andrew's words left me momentarily confused. "What did you say?" However, Andrew simply hooked the corner of his mouth, looking lazy and completely different from his usual cold self. "It's okay. I just need you to lift your legs and make way." I secretly rolled my eyes, grabbed my phone, left the bathroom and climbed onto the bed. But I always felt that there was a light, obscure gaze on my back. I was too lazy to deal with him and was busy with something important. "Brother, can we start an online relationship now?" Andrew, in the toilet, actually replied instantly, "Yes." I immediately took a screenshot and was extremely delighted inside. Yes, this guy finally took the bait. I'll use this persona to flirt with him desperately and then disappear. Of course, I won't cheat him out of money. I just want him to experience the feeling of being dumped. As a result, I almost messed things up before I could even enjoy my happiness for long. Because I used my main account to reply to a few messages from my friend before going to bed, I forgot to switch back to my secondary account and directly sent a flirtatious message to Andrew. "Good night, dear. Mwah." Fortunately, right after I sent it, I realized something was wrong and quickly recalled the message. Then I nervously looked at Andrew's bed. Although I withdrew the message quickly enough, Andrew might have seen it during those few seconds. Just as I was shivering for a long time, Andrew finally replied to me late. "I just fell asleep." "What did you send?" I immediately let out a long sigh of relief. Fortunately, he didn't see it. I sent the message to the wrong person. "Okay." I quickly switched back to my alternate account and coquettishly said, "Brother, what are you doing?" "Chatting with my roommate." "It seems that you have a good relationship with your roommate." "Just so. He seems to have an opinion about me." It seems that Andrew isn't stupid either. Just as I was about to take the opportunity to manipulate him a bit, Andrew said such a thing. I actually really want to be friends with him. After all, he is also very excellent. It's just that he seems to have some misunderstandings about me. Andrew's words made me toss and turn in bed that night. He knows that I look down on him but still thinks I'm excellent behind my back. In contrast, I seem a bit petty. It's not that I don't want to be friends with Andrew. I also admire the strong. But after being outshone by him time and time again, I can't help but feel a twinge of envy, jealousy, and hatred. I sighed. Since Andrew doesn't look down on me, should I continue to pretend to be a girl and have an online relationship with him? I started to have second thoughts. But the next day, I got up early and went to buy breakfast for my roommates. Then, rather awkwardly, I also put a portion on Andrew's desk. Under the shocked gazes of Roman and another roommate, Andrew lifted his eyelids slightly and looked at me. With a deep look in his eyes, his voice was a bit gentler than usual. "Matthew, thank you." "You're welcome." "Not bad. This guy is quite giving me face." I left haughtily with a straight face and my nervousness subsided. This gesture meant that the ice between Andrew and me had temporarily melted, and the atmosphere in the dormitory eased a bit. At least we stopped mocking each other. Just when I was about to stop this fake online relationship, I bumped into something extremely annoying downstairs of the dormitory. That is, the goddess I have a crush on was confessing her love to Andrew. She's beautiful and he's handsome. What a perfect couple. Instantly, I gritted my teeth in anger. It's really strange that all the girls I like are into Andrew without exception. The next second, the goddess left in tears, and Andrew walked back to the dormitory with a calm face. A typical failed confession. Oh my God. He rejected such a beautiful goddess? Andrew is really ungrateful. I suppressed my anger and rushed back to the dormitory. "Andrew, I have a question for you." "Huh? Why did you reject that girl just now?" Andrew glanced at me and replied indifferently while changing his clothes. "I don't like her. I'm in a relationship." "What? You have a partner?" I was stunned. Could it be me, the one he's having an online relationship with? Now, instead of taking off his clothes, Andrew tilted his head and stared straight at me. "Yeah, she's from our school. She has fair skin, a pair of doe-like eyes, nice legs, and she smiles so sweetly. But she has a little temper in private." I was stunned. This description doesn't seem to match the gorgeous persona of my alt account. Instead, it seems like... Suddenly, Roman, who was sitting beside me, holding his phone and grinning, quipped without even looking up. "Matthew, it sounds like the girl Andrew is dating is a bit like you." "Me? Don't say it. I actually think so too. In other words, it's exactly the same." I forced out 2 fake laughs and didn't take it seriously. After all, there are other girls who look like me. What I'm more concerned about is another thing. That is, Andrew has a girlfriend in real life and is also having an online relationship with me at the same time. This is a contradiction. So this guy is not only a leg fetishist who loves looking at legs, but also a philandering scumbag. Then I have to fight for justice and continue to deceive him in this online relationship. Otherwise, it's a loss for my goddess who likes him. So, I continued to flirt with him using my alt account. The way I addressed him changed from brother to husband, and I sent messages about daily kisses, hugs, and carrying him around. "Brother, I love you so much today too." "Husband, the takeaway I ordered for you is here. Remember to eat well." "Husband, look at my legs." This kind of flirting made Andrew go to the toilet inexplicably in the middle of the night several times. I took screenshots of it all and curled up in the quilt, laughing uncontrollably. Scumbag. I'll post all these screenshots on the school's super topic later to vent the girl's anger. Let you have your eyes on what's in someone else's bowl while eating from your own. But as we chatted, as time went by, I gradually lost my enthusiasm. Because I found that I seemed to be addicted to chatting with Andrew. In real life, Andrew is aloof and cold, the campus heartthrob of the university town. But in the online world, he is patient and considerate, always replying to me instantly even when he is very busy. Occasionally, he would lazily call me baby, which would make me blush. He clearly treats me as his real girlfriend. When chatting with him about trivial things, his conversation would sometimes make me forget that I don't like him. Once, Andrew was so busy that he forgot to reply to me. I was absent-minded and kept checking my phone every now and then. I couldn't even concentrate on my classes. This kind of hidden sense of expectation is something I've never had before. Sometimes I would get so engrossed in chatting with him that I would forget to talk to the goddess. I have to admit that I kind of understand why those girls are so crazy about him. Who wouldn't be confused in this situation? The most embarrassing thing is that in the dormitory I unconsciously acted coquettishly with Andrew several times. Then I would suddenly realize it and hurriedly try to cover it up. This made me feel even worse. I always felt that the situation was getting out of control. No, something is wrong here, but I didn't know what was wrong. I could only take advantage of Andrew being away and ask Roman, who was smiling stupidly at his phone. Roman, I have a friend who's in an online relationship. Moreover, he's always in a daze because of this online dating partner. When the other person replies to his messages a little late, he feels empty inside. Then he's fallen for his online dating partner. I was startled and immediately stiffened my neck and denied it. What the hell? My friend is a guy, and the person he's in an online relationship with is also a guy, and he's a jerk. This can at most be considered friendship. Besides, how would you, a straight guy, understand? Roman let out a couple of soft chuckles. Of course I understand. Matthew, let me show you something. Don't spread it around. What? I was completely confused. Roman handed me his phone to look at. I saw that Roman was chatting animatedly with that gay online dating scammer from some time ago. The screen was filled with kisses and hugs, showing a strong sense of gay affection. When I was completely shocked, Roman patted me on the shoulder. Matthew, tell your friend not to worry because my behavior when I was about to turn gay a few days ago was exactly the same as your friend's. Roman's words really blew my mind. I can respect, understand, and bless my roommate Roman for becoming gay. However, I firmly disagree with the absurd idea that I might become gay for Andrew. I'm a real man almost 1.8 meters tall, and besides, Andrew has a girlfriend in real life. Becoming gay is simply nonsense. I denied it verbally but then secretly went to take several sets of tests to identify sexual orientation. Most of the results said I was gay, only a small part said I wasn't. Of course, I believe the small part of the results, but I'm extremely panicked inside. No, I can't continue this online dating at all. I'm afraid I'll really turn gay for this scumbag. So I immediately secretly prepared to find an excuse to end the online dating with Andrew. As a result, before I could come up with a way, Roman organized a dormitory dinner. He said it was to celebrate the improvement of the dormitory atmosphere, and also to celebrate that he had found a boyfriend. I thought that Andrew, a homophobic straight man, would definitely find an excuse not to go, but after hearing that, he just calmly nodded. Since he's going, then I definitely have to go too. After another roommate came back from the library, the four of us went to a barbecue stall outside the school. In order not to be affected by Andrew, I only talked to the other two roommates on the way and never paid any attention to Andrew. Andrew glanced at my face several times with an ambiguous meaning. I'm already wavering in my resolve. And he keeps looking at me like this. No, hold it in, hold it in. This is the last dignity of a straight man. But I still got restless. So when it was time to eat, I only ate a few skewers of barbecue and just kept drinking in silence. One glass after another. After a short while, my consciousness began to blur and I was sweating all over. Drink some honey water first. Suddenly, a calm and husky voice sounded beside me, making my ears tingle. During our online relationship, Andrew would occasionally send me voice messages in this kind of voice. It made me seem shy on the surface, but actually I cursed him as a flirty scumbag with my burning ears. Now, looking at Andrew, who took away my wine glass, I felt dizzy and subconsciously murmured again. Brother, you're so nice. As soon as I finished speaking, I heard an abrupt silence on the dinner table where there had been voices just now. Even a drunk like me could sense that something was wrong with the atmosphere. Just as I was about to slowly turn my head to see what was going on, Andrew yanked me up. I'll take him back to the dorm first. You guys keep eating. Then he directly carried me on his back and left. I struggled a couple of times, but to no avail. Then drunkenly buried my face in the crook of Andrew's neck and rubbed and nuzzled aimlessly. Matthew, be good. Andrew's voice carried a tense coldness and was a bit fierce. I immediately wilted and didn't dare to move. But after a short while, I fell asleep on his lean but broad shoulders. In a daze, there was always a familiar, refreshing scent. After sleeping blissfully for a while, I suddenly woke up. I found myself lying in my dormitory bed, surrounded by my bed curtains. I faintly heard someone taking a shower in the dormitory bathroom. Who brought me back? It should be that guy, Roman. He's really a good buddy. After lying there for a while, the effects of the alcohol gradually kicked in again, making it hard for me to distinguish between reality and fantasy. Out of habit, I took out my phone and sent a flirtatious message to Andrew from my secondary account. "Husband, I have a headache. I want to cuddle." Andrew didn't reply to me. I just kept flirting with him in a daze, grinning foolishly. Suddenly, the bathroom door seemed to be violently flung open, hitting the wall with a bang. Has Hitler come back to life? Just as I was about to get up to see what was going on, the bed curtain was suddenly yanked open roughly. Looking up blankly, I saw Andrew looking down at me with a deep gaze, his black hair slightly damp. "Tell me, how do you want to stick it?" Seeing Andrew suddenly appear, I was stunned. I vaguely realized that my current situation didn't seem very good, but I didn't know what was wrong. As the saying goes, when in trouble, just sleep it off. So under the influence of alcohol, I tilted my head and started snoring right away. In a daze, I felt someone smiling and sighing. Then, before long, someone wiped my face and hands gently and carefully. I instinctively rubbed against the hand that was wiping my face and continued to snore away. When I was woken up by Roman the next day, I still felt a bit dizzy. "Good morning, Roman." "It's not early anymore, Matthew. Class is about to start. Get up quickly." "Okay, I'll get up right away. Thanks for your trouble last night, buddy." "What trouble? You passed out after just a couple of drinks. Fortunately, Andrew took care of you all night." "Ha!" I sat up with a jerk, looking extremely shocked. "You said who took care of me last night?" "Andrew, I thought you two were arguing again, but I'm shocked to find out you called him your brother in private." "My boyfriend calls me even more sweetly." Watching the silly grinning Roman, some fragmented images from last night were awakened. I got drunk and called Andrew brother in public. He carried me back, and then there was his slightly teasing face when he lifted my bed curtain. "Tell me, how do you want to stick it?" "It's over. I'm really finished. Sometimes I really want to smash my mouth that can't keep quiet after drinking." Andrew must have realized that it was me pretending to be a girl and having an online relationship with him. "Don't panic, not at all. It must still be in time to buy a standing ticket and leave the earth now." Just as I was about to shiveringly cancel the small account and run away, I received a message. It was sent by Andrew. I took a deep breath and opened it with a sense of going to the gallows. Last night, when taking care of my drunk roommate, I encountered a very interesting thing. My roommate, who has always been rude to me, acted coquettishly towards me and called me brother just like you. Baby, isn't it a coincidence? Could it not be a coincidence? I looked mournful and my heart instantly rose to my throat. Folks, I'm not joking. I'm already freezing cold all over and could kick the bucket at any moment. Just as I was trembling, Andrew spoke again. "I also think it's quite a coincidence. It seems that he has a good relationship with his brother. I was busy taking care of him last night and didn't have time to chat with you." "Sorry, baby." What's going on here? Didn't Andrew recognize me? This plot development made me look just like the old man on the subway looking at his phone in disbelief. The anxiety that had been gripping my heart immediately eased a bit. To be on the safe side, I quickly continued to probe. "Really? Then did you not sleep well last night, dear?" "Well, my roommate was too noisy. She kept calling me brother and kissed me several times." I asked tremblingly. "Where did he kiss you?" "On the lips." Did I become so shameless just after having a little drink? More importantly, did I even give away my first kiss like this? Hastily slapping my disobedient mouth, I replied with blushing ears. "Your roommate was drunk and couldn't control her own actions." "Husband, don't mind. Let me give you a kiss." "Of course I don't mind." Andrew behaved as usual, which made me completely relieved. Okay, as long as he didn't recognize me. But these scares of almost being exposed were really too much for me to bear. I'll probably have a heart attack sooner or later. So, after comforting Andrew, I immediately deleted, blocked, and canceled my alt account in one go. The main thing is to disappear without a trace and make a hasty exit. I've already taken all the necessary screenshots, and Andrew is deeply infatuated with this online relationship. After being dumped by the girl he's been pursuing, such a proud guy like him will definitely be in low spirits for a few days. My goal of pranking him has been achieved. So, with a heart full of nervousness, excitement, and anticipation, I rushed back to the dormitory right after class to watch the show. As soon as I entered the door, I found Andrew sitting there calmly, chatting with Roman. He was also lazily holding a cup of coffee in his hand. He looked like he was posing for a pictorial. How could this guy be so calm after being dumped and having his feelings deceived? Damn it! Why isn't he following the script? I walked slowly into the dormitory, secretly sizing up Andrew out of the corner of my eye. I found that he really didn't show any signs of being heartbroken after being dumped. Could it be that he hasn't noticed that I've blocked him? No, I have to give him a hint. Thinking of this, I immediately went over to Andrew and the others with a beaming smile. What are you talking about? I'm asking Roman for some advice, like what to do when you get blocked by your online dating partner. As Andrew spoke, he lifted his eyelids and glanced at me, his expression calm. A sudden chill ran down my spine, but then I was overjoyed. He noticed. Come on. Get angry. Be heartbroken. Rage helplessly. While I was secretly gloating, Roman also spoke with a beaming smile. Matthew, it turns out that Andrew and his girlfriend are in an online relationship. I thought it was our school belle. I wonder who that online girlfriend is. She actually toyed with Andrew's feelings. Roman's words left me completely stunned. What? His girlfriend is the online dating girlfriend? So, Andrew isn't dating two girls at the same time. Then did I misunderstand him as a playboy? My heart sank and I silently cursed. Oh no, I seem to have gone too far. No, since it's the same person, the type of girlfriend he mentioned before doesn't match my online persona. There seems to be something wrong. Where is it? Matthew, what do you think I should do? Andrew suddenly asked me in a calm tone as if simply seeking advice. I was startled and my train of thought was interrupted. Immediately, I forced out two fake chuckles and replied vaguely. How would I know? Well, maybe you should just let it go. Anyway, you can't find this person. It's no use worrying about such things. Am I right? I rambled on awkwardly. After listening, Andrew nodded with a half-smile expression. Well, makes sense. Then let it go. Only then did I heave a sigh of relief, but a sense of unease gradually crept over me. Although I was wrong in this matter, I misunderstood him and toyed with his feelings. But Andrew let go of this online relationship so quickly that I really felt a bit uncomfortable. After all, those dozen test papers indicating he was gay kept lingering in my mind. What on earth am I doing? To make up for what I did wrong, I took the initiative to get closer to Andrew again. Andrew didn't say anything about my changing expressions these days. Only occasionally, the looks he gave me carried a meaning I couldn't understand. At the same time, he treated me even better. When I was hungry, he brought me food. When I was thirsty, he bought me water. When I was sleepy, he carried me back to the dormitory directly. He even took the barbecue I only took one bite of. He treated me better than a real girlfriend. Every day, my heart feels soft and fluttery. So, I secretly took another dozen or so gay test questions. Well, this time, all the results showed that I was 100% gay. I felt hopeless for a while and then calmly accepted it. After all, I blush whenever Andrew glances at me. It's only natural that I'm gay. Anyway, I've never seen him be so considerate to any other male classmates. Moreover, when some classmates who were on good terms with us joked that we were a couple, Andrew didn't deny it. He just gave a non-committal smile. So, these days I've been looking forward to finding an answer to a question. Could Andrew also be gay? But I got the answer to this question when I was going to bring water to Andrew, who was playing basketball. That day, a tall and muscular boy stopped me and straightforwardly asked me to play the prison game with him. What? Are gays so blatant these days? I was stunned and shocked. Immediately, I hurriedly refused and prepared to leave, but this guy blocked me and wouldn't let me go. He insisted on adding me online. Matthew, I can tell that you're the same type as me. How about we give it a try? You've got the wrong idea. Get out of the way. Just add me. Otherwise, I'll have to follow you around all day. Looking at his well-developed muscles and his slightly threatening tone, just as I started to feel a bit scared, a basketball hit this guy right on the head. With great force. Ouch! The boy let out a scream. Before I could react, Andrew shielded me behind him. Get out of here. When Andrew has a cold face, he is always unstoppable and full of oppression. The boy covered his head and groaned. He was about to charge at us angrily. Suddenly he held back and finally left with gritted teeth. It seems that the fact that my dad is the richest man in the city really scares people. I let out a couple of sighs and was about to thank Andrew. As a result, I found that the look in his eyes as he stared at the boy's back seemed to be one of disgust, and indifference towards gays. The smile on my lips immediately faded a bit. Well, I'm done. It turns out that Andrew is homophobic. My romantic journey has come to an abrupt end before it even really started. It's completely over. In order not to let Andrew discover my sordid little thoughts, I stopped clinging to Andrew. I decided to just treat him as an ordinary roommate, just deliberately being a bit less intimate. This constant change probably left Andrew speechless again. His handsome face visibly darkened, making it seem as if the temperature in the dormitory had dropped a few degrees. But I couldn't explain anything. I can't exactly explain that I want to pick up the soap with him. A homophobic guy like him would probably bury me in the trash can on the spot. Oh well, my life is more important. I'll just secretly have a crush on him. One day when I was in a daze in the dormitory, Roman sneaked over furtively and said, "Hey, Matthew, did you quarrel with Andrew again?" "No, we're fine," I replied vaguely. Roman said with a smile, "But it really seems like a lover's tiff. At present, it seems that it's mainly you who is being petty." I gave a cold snort. "Andrew is homophobic. If you keep talking nonsense, be careful that he'll beat you up when he hears it." Just then, Andrew returned to the dormitory. I immediately forced a smile and greeted him, then scurried onto my bed in a hurry. However, today, Andrew didn't just stare at me silently with a gloomy face. Instead, he directly grabbed my calf as I was climbing onto the bed. The boy's palm was burning hot, and this heat quickly spread from my calf to my whole body. It left me at a loss, and my mind went blank. He touched me. "Matthew, I have something to tell you." "WH, what is it?" I blushed and dared not look at him. Andrew looked straight at me and suddenly lifted the corner of his mouth slightly. "Go on a date with me, okay?" In a daze, I followed Andrew to a cinema. Of course, for the friendly development of the dormitory, Andrew also invited the other two roommates to watch the movie. It was a horror movie. I wasn't afraid. I just sat there in a daze with a bucket of popcorn in my arms. I really couldn't help but steal glances at Andrew beside me. Although he might have just casually mentioned the word date as a joke, my heart still fluttered. I gently sniffed the fresh and clean scent on Andrew, but my ears were filled with Roman's ghostly screams. I turned my head and saw that he had already thrown himself into another roommate's arms, sniveling. Good idea. Then I'll also take the opportunity to throw myself into Andrew's arms. But before I could figure out how to do it, Andrew gently touched my hand. I turned my head in a daze and asked in a hushed voice, "Andrew, what's wrong? I'm a bit scared. Can you hold my hand?" The cinema was terribly dark at this moment. I couldn't see his expression, but my eyes suddenly lit up. "Isn't this just like having a pillow when you're sleepy?" I immediately took the initiative to hold his hand and comforted him gently. "Don't be afraid. Thank you." Then, with my heart pounding, I watched the movie aimlessly. I had absolutely no idea what was shown in the end. All I knew was that Roman really had a loud voice, and Andrew's fingers were really long and neat. When the ceiling lights were about to come on, I quickly got up and ran to the toilet, telling them to wait for me directly at the hot pot restaurant. "I have to run. Once the lights come on, my blushing face will be clearly visible." After finally cooling down with cold water, I walked out happily. As a result, I saw a stunningly curvy beauty standing shyly in front of Andrew. On the phone she was holding up, there was a QR code displayed. It was obvious that she was asking for his contact information. Andrew was speaking to her politely but indifferently. His attitude was by no means cold. Jealousy welled up in my heart immediately. How nice it is. They can openly express their affection. Moreover, at first glance, this beauty bore a slight resemblance to the persona I used when I deceived Andrew in our online relationship. It was quite normal for Andrew to talk to her. I pursed my lips with a bitter smile and turned around, intending to leave first. But before I could take 2 steps, Andrew chased after me and gently pinched my face with a hint of annoyance. "Aren't you waiting for me?" I was stunned for a moment, then immediately forced a smile and retorted, "I won't interrupt your chat with that young lady. So I'll go to the hot pot restaurant outside to find Roman and the others first." We weren't chatting. She was just a scammer trying to get me to scan her QR code for advertising. I was taken aback for a moment. Come to think of it, there's nothing wrong with what he said. Anyway, it's great that Andrew didn't give her his information. I was overjoyed and casually asked him, "Then why didn't you give it? Such a girl is so pretty. She's not my ideal type." I remembered what he said before, that he likes beautiful women who seem gentle and well-behaved on the surface but are a bit lively in private and have nice legs. I suppressed the jealousy in my heart and sighed. There doesn't seem to be that kind of girl you like in our school, does there? There is. As Andrew said, he stepped into the empty elevator. I was stunned and immediately nervously followed him in. When I wanted to ask who it was, Andrew said another sentence. "But it's not a girl." The soft sound of the elevator door closing with a bang woke me up. I looked at Andrew in disbelief. "Not a girl. What does that mean?" Andrew smiled and reached up to lift my dropped jaw, then leaned towards me. His handsome face suddenly loomed large in front of me. His thin lips moved slightly. "It means that I like boys." As soon as these words fell, the nuclear bomb in my mind exploded instantly, making me dizzy and disoriented. What did he say he liked? Who likes boys? Oh, Andrew likes boys. He is a gay. In this case, I not only match in terms of gender but also in terms of his ideal type. Then do I have a chance? I instantly started to tremble with excitement. But immediately afterwards, I remembered a very important thing. Wait a minute. If you like boys, why were you in an online relationship with a girl? Andrew let out a soft laugh. "Matthew, I think I've said that your legs are very nice." Huh? So what? I didn't understand. So, after I took one look at them, I just couldn't forget them. On the day you said you were looking for an online relationship by showing your legs, I recognized you at a glance. In the elevator, in just a moment, I felt so embarrassed that it was as if I had dug out a 3-bedroom and 1-living-room apartment with my toes. What does social death mean? Guys, this is it. No wonder Andrew blocked me at the bathroom door back then with such a terribly gloomy look in his eyes. It turned out that I had revealed my identity back then. I regret it so much. I should have sent a stock photo back then. Then why didn't you expose me? I asked him tremulously. Because? Ding. The elevator stopped and the elevator door opened. There was a group of people standing at the door, ready to get on the elevator. When I was about to go out first and then continue asking, the voice of Andrew came from beside me. Neither too loud nor too soft. "Because I want to be in a relationship with you." I was stunned. The few passers-by closest to us were also stunned. They looked at me and then at Andrew, all with shocked expressions. Then, looking utterly confused, Andrew directly took my hand and calmly left the movie theater. This level is far ahead of others. It took me a long time to come to my senses and I hesitated to speak. "Do you have something you want to ask?" "Go ahead and ask. I'll answer all your questions." Andrew turned his head to look at me, then affectionately shook my hand, his eyes burning with passion. I immediately pressed on. "I just want to ask, when did you start liking me?" "I don't know." Andrew shook his head honestly. "Maybe it was the first time I saw you in the dormitory during our freshman year." The look of disappointment on my face instantly gave way to joy. "So you've been plotting this for a long time?" "Yes, I don't deny it." The handsome curves of Andrew's eyebrows and eyes made my heart flutter. Ignoring the sideways glances of passers-by, I threw myself beside his ear and whispered a question. "Then guess when I started liking you? During our online relationship?" "No, it was also the first time I saw you." Thinking back carefully, in fact, I was attracted by Andrew's excellence the first time I saw him in the dormitory. But I was too naive and reckless, mistaking this inexplicable attention for envy, jealousy, and hatred. So I always threw tantrums to get his attention or to assert my presence. For example, I lied to him through an online relationship. I still nervously added this apology. "Sorry, Andrew. It was my fault about the online dating thing." Andrew smiled with a bright glint in his eyes. "It doesn't matter. The important thing is, since our online relationship is over, can we start a real-life relationship?" I was overjoyed and nodded repeatedly. "Of course." Andrew nodded and continued to put his arm around me and walked towards the hot pot restaurant. "Well, since that's the case, remember to let me see your legs tonight." "Bah, pervert." Extra story, Andrew. I think my college roommate Matthew is crazy. Actually, when I first saw him during my freshman year, I couldn't help but look at him a few more times. After all, it's really hard to dislike a roommate who is good, looking and loves to keep clean. At first, Matthew was quite gentle and introverted. When he saw me, he would greet me with his deer-like eyes curved. He looked so cute that it made one's heart itch. I suppressed that inexplicable feeling, thinking that at least I would have a good roommate relationship with him during the 4-year college life. But then Matthew started to be at odds with me for no reason. When I reached for the dishes, he would turn the turntable. When I went to the toilet, he would knock on the door. At first, I was very confused, but later I roughly guessed that he was dissatisfied because I outshined him in every aspect. I was too lazy to care and just regarded him as an ordinary roommate. Because I have an even more annoying thing. That is, it seems that every time I can't help but cast my eyes on Matthew's legs. Occasionally, he wears shorts in the dormitory, and his 2 slender legs are so white that they are a bit dazzling. I'm just like a gay. I'll even have dreams after looking at them. Those dreams make me feel restless. I was troubled by this for a long time, so I simply ignored Matthew's provocations, trying to figure out my own sexual orientation. Until one day, when I rejected the friend requests, I saw a girl with a gorgeous profile picture. "Brother, do you want to see my legs?" I was momentarily stunned. With an evasive mentality, I somehow agreed. I wanted to see if I would also have that kind of annoying feeling towards a girl's legs. When this person sent the photo, I was so shocked that I suddenly stood up from the chair. The familiar slender, white and long legs are exactly the ones that have been making me restless. The Roman beside me asked me in a daze, "Andrew, what's wrong?" I glanced at him, who had just been scammed in an online romance, and then looked at the person in the phone who wanted to have an online romance with me using a photo of their legs. Suddenly, I understood what was going on. "It's okay." I was both angry and amused at once. "Well done, Matthew. You've walked right into my trap." I directly got up and walked towards the bathroom. At the same time, an idea came to my mind. Since I can't figure out my orientation, I can only find out the truth through practice.